What did I? Okay. And hold on a second. I realized I lost my tagline. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay, there I am. Okay. Welcome to it's Thursday, 7 o'clock, August 6th. And man, we're a little rusty, aren't we? From what's it been, like 3 weeks
oh
almost?
yeah.
And we're nerds on the couch. We're back from vacation, and we got a sweet little trip that we're going to recap just a little bit, talk about some of the fun we had. We were at Houston, Space City Comic Con, and we had a really good time there. I got to thank the people who threw that convention. Houston is humid and hot as anything, but I'm so glad I was indoors. And that convention, I got to say, was really great. I had a blast. Me and Karen Gillian had a thing going, but it's
I don't want to say anything. Let's just say, whoa, okay, hi.
yeah,
Your close
yeah,
area is unknown.
yeah.
She's tall.
But yeah, she's a tall lady. I was just shocked how tall she was, but she was so nice. Hearing her cuss in her Irish accent was so beautiful. You know, but yeah, she's incredibly nice. We heard a little bit about her. She's gone Hollywood. She lives in Hollywood now, doing movies, and she's got other projects and all that. But
What about the guy
she
who
was
played Roy?
incredibly nice.
What about
I
the
didn't
guy?
get a chance to meet with him.
Uh,
He wore a stupid hat.
Oh,
I'm sorry, it was like a weird looking hat that he wore, but he was a nice guy too. He talked to my daughter for a little bit, but you know the thing was is that man, it was really crowded, and so the lines were just rushing. You know, everybody there, everybody who went to the convention was basically there to see them. So it was a huge line. My Saturday was spent being in line. You know, when I talked to William Shatner too later that day,
mm-hmm.
super nice guy. Um, Jason David Frank, the green white Power Ranger guy, awesome guy, bit of a germaphobe, but okay. Uh, I got to hang out with Robert Picardo at Joe's. I got to hang out at Joe. Yeah, coming from me, that means something. But I ran into Robert Picardo at Joe's Crab Shack.
Yeah, he was
And
really cool, huh?
yeah,
Yeah, you called me up, and I'm like, what?
I got a little
well,
tipsy. I'm gonna admit, I got a
Yeah.
little tipsy at Joe's Crab
you
Shack.
called
But
you called me
that
up
margarita's
too. There's
okay.
a shark in my drink. There's a shark in my drink.
Okay, it's a little bit up.
Yeah, they do this. Joe's Crab Shack does this cool drink where it's like one color, and then they have like a shot within a shark, and they come in and they dump the shark in there, and you see the water spewing, and it changes the colors of the drink, and whatever that was, it was awesome. And and then hanging out with Vic Minogia and Michelle Speck from Star Trek Continues was super cool because they were there too at Joe's Crab Shack. And so I was just blown away. The day before the convention, you know, I'm meeting these people right there and then, and they're having drinks and everybody's just having a good time before the convention started. And I got to tell you guys, Vic Minogia and Michelle Speck are the nicest people you guys are going to meet.
Oh, yeah.
I've talked to Ian for the Sun City, and I was like, you got to get these guys over here because they are awesome, man. We got to support Star Trek Continues. If you haven't
Yes.
seen it, you got to check it out. Great episodes.
Oh, we saw the latest one during the convention, and it was awesome. It was really, really good. Well made.
I must thank your wife, Renee, for getting us first row seats for
William Shatner.
William Shatner. And then William Shatner goes ahead and calls me old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he made it official. David is now
Yeah.
officially old.
Yeah. He was
If
talking
William,
about all of these actors and actresses that no one would know, and I'm going, I know them. And he just looks at me and says, yeah,
Yeah, but
but
you're old.
you're old.
He
now
didn't
here's
really
the
do the
thing:
voice.
if William
I did record it.
Shatner
I
calls
have it
you
recorded.
old and
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't post
old.
it, if William Shatner calls you old, you are old.
Old.
An 87-year-old man called you old.
And Renee froze.
Oh,
Hey, look, he's doing the Harrison Ford. Yeah, he froze a little bit.
and I'm back. No, I'm
He
back. I
did the
guess we
finger
had a
thing.
little internet. Yeah. But overall, we got a lot of great information, and I had some good times. I mean, Orly,
Well, I had a lot of good times. I loved it. It was really, really a lot of cool stuff there, especially in the last couple of days. And let me see. I couldn't help it.
I,
I
I
had to
got
do
the
it.
video of him making out with a Catwoman.
I went ahead and got it.
Yeah.
An Ultra Saber. I couldn't help it. It was there. It had my name on it. They were like, "You can buy it now or buy it later," and they're like, "Oh, I can buy it now." It's really
You're
I
cool.
the
was so
weirdest.
tempted.
You're the weirdest looking
Huh?
Jedi, Orly.
Look at that! Look at that! Aluminum. You know what? And I can
Yeah.
still get this
Aluminum.
changed out and everything. Here, go over there.
Yeah, I saw those and I was so tempted. I really was super tempted to get it, but then the guy was like, "Well, we have more designs and all that online,"
Well, it
and then I
depends
kind
on.
of didn't want to spend, so I was like, "I'm going to." No, I'm jealous you get it, man. I'm just like, wow.
You know what? I just had to get it.
You need to go ahead and get it before we start lining up next week.
Oh yeah. You know.
It's bad enough already. I mean, the kids don't respect us at all yet. When they see us with our lightsabers, come on.
The only thing is about the Ultra Sabers is that you can actually hit people with them and they won't break. But this one isn't one of the dueling swords. So, but I can buy that for not. It's not too expensive to go ahead and upgrade that part, and it's really easy. I can take out
$10.
the thing. It depends.
Yeah.
Depends on what you're gonna get.
Well, if Sherman's going to join us, he'll talk about the Tampa Bay Comic Con. He had a mixed review on that one, which was a shame because Carrie Fisher was at that one. But the next ones, we got to keep an eye out for our next convention. And speaking of conventions, next week we're going to be at the Boulder City Comic Con, and make sure you guys check it out. We're going to be the MCs for the conventions, and we are going to be working there. You can come to our booth. We'll have nerd confessions for you, probably candy, and
Yeah, gotta have the
I
candy.
need to pick up Joker. He's still in my classroom.
Somebody has to do the.
yeah, and just for you.
Somebody has to do the whatchamacallit. What is it? The Wreck-It Ralph thing. Have some candy.
Have some candy.
Yeah.
And just for you, David, we're bringing in the transvestite to join
Oh
you.
man, that guy was crazy.
Oh.
You have to admit that one guy was really strong.
You were
Kid
lucky
bitch,
you didn't-
240
Yeah.
pounds.
Yeah, you were lucky. He didn't grab you by the neck.
Yeah, I walked away from
Renee-
that
What?
one.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. Oh, yeah, Orly.
No, it was Renee and me.
Yeah, I walked away before
Yeah.
before he could get a hold of me. I'm like, see ya.
Your Jedi
Uh.
reflexes served you well that day, man.
I'm like,
Oh, man.
whoa.
It felt like steel was just gripping me. Like, wow. You know. Oh, but she was awesome. It was great being on that game show, and I want to do something like that here, but I just realized I don't have the equipment, the skills, the time, the desire. Really, we should do something like that here. But
I think you should start out with the first one. The desire is like the important one. The other one you can probably figure out. But
Yeah, but
Well, congrats, dude. You looked
speaking
awesome.
of,
You were awesome up there, though. I gotta give you credit
Yeah.
on that.
yeah,
The only
Yeah,
thing
until they
is,
cut your
that,
buzzer at the end.
yeah, they turned off your buzzer.
that, and I gotta. The one thing people don't understand was that when we're on the stage, we barely hear them. It didn't. Some of that stuff that the guy was talking about, there was like a reverb or something on the stage that it was hard, especially when they were doing the movie lines. You could not understand them. I could not understand them reading the movie lines.
Yeah, it's an
And
acoustic
Cynthia
feedback.
Rothrock was next to me, and she said, "Too, do you understand?" She whispered to me, "Do you understand them?" And I'm like, "I'm having a hard time hearing it." And so some of that, yeah, it threw us off, but it was a lot of fun. It was, I mean, those are unexpected things at conventions, and it was an adventure. I got to say, we had an adventure,
I love the way
and
that he introduced you because it made it us sound so legitimate.
We are legitimate. What are you talking about?
yeah,
Are you
Yeah, but I mean,
insulting us?
but it was like like on a game show, moderator for nerds on the couch. I mean, it was like, ooh,
Yeah, it
is
was
he really
funny.
talking about us?
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody there was like, "What? Who are these guys?
Who
What?"
are these guys? No. Why are they up there?
Actually, one of
I
the
gotta
things
say
about
this.
the convention, one of the things that I would say about the convention is there was so much stuff going on the floor. I mean, when the military Dalek came out
Yeah.
with you
Winston
know
Churchill.
Winston Churchill there.
Yeah.
I mean, really, those guys from Tim the Dalek and Friends, they did a great job. With
Did we lose
all
them?
of their stuff. Oh God,
What, me?
yes. Yeah, I mean, you had oh God, Davros there and everything. It was great. You know,
Oh
they did
yeah,
a good
those are
job.
hardcore guys.
Oh God,
And
yes.
yeah, and again, we have the Border City Comic Con next week. Is going to be at the Wyndham Hotel. It's going to be all weekend long. You can come check us out. It's going to be a blast. And we have our YouTube. We have a YouTube special with the two guys behind it, edited, because there were
Edited
some things I
because
don't want to mention.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
Oh,
unexpected guest.
I don't know. Our tribute to Fight Club was pretty interesting. I think.
Oh, no. Was that a friend of yours, Chino? Was that it? Is that what you're telling us? You planned that?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I didn't
Oh,
like
you
the movie
didn't.
that much.
When we describe this, it's going to be no sarcasm. Yes. Okay. But speaking of movies, and summer's wrapping up. We got to get our end of summer special coming out pretty soon. Movies are wrapping up and finishing off. We've had a mix of movies we've managed to see. Now, I know we talked about it, but we got to get Orly's viewpoint on Ant-Man.
Well, finally that I that I finally got to see it. Yeah, actually I
Or
saw
did
it
your
just a
girlfriend finally allow you to see it? Is that
no,
it,
that's
Orly?
not it. Just didn't have any time, and finally I just I wanted her to see it with me, and she wanted to see it too, but just to find the time to go ahead and get everything all together just did not work. So I went by myself today. But I liked the film. I thought Paul Rudd was okay. He wasn't like really funny. He wasn't like Ben Affleck kind of funny. I'm talking about Chino and his love for Batman. Uh, no, but
Hey, I love Batman. I love Batman. Don't get that confused.
yeah, but you don't like Batfleck.
That's right,
No,
Gino.
no, I don't.
I, the ultimate Batman.
You know,
No,
He's watching you.
the ultimately bad
He's
Batman.
watching. He's watching you. Give
oh,
him a
if you want
kiss,
to talk
Gino.
about watching you, there you go. There's watching you.
By the way, that was a good movie. I like that movie.
Oh, Minions. I didn't
I'm
watch
gonna
that.
do the show with Batman, like watching throughout the whole thing.
I'm Batman. I need to watch.
Go on, Orly. Talk about
Okay,
Ant-Man.
now I'm getting kind
Talk
of
about
creeped out.
Ant-Man.
Okay, Ant-Man, really good. It was a really good movie. Man, I can't take you seriously looking at that. All right. I liked a lot of the parts that was going on. I mean, I love the CGI. Everything worked well. The thought that when you go down to quantum level, they talked about going down to the quantum level and shrinking down that small. And they're absolutely right. All the rules, all Newtonian physics go out the window. And that's where it really was really good. I mean, I love the fact that they brought in real fact. Yeah, they're right. Newtonian physics go out the wall. Time, everything goes down. When you're taking, but when you think about the physics of the thing and shrinking down and becoming that compact, basically you're taking on the density of a star, taking on the density of a black hole. And basically, I'm wondering, okay, why didn't he go ahead and implode and destroy the universe from there? Because he becomes infinitely small and infinitely dense at the same time, and it's just really, really nuts. But all in all, I love the film. I loved everything. I love the wind I'm hearing in my hair right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean.
Ron,
I
is
knew
there a
that something.
hurricane over there?
What, you hear the fan again?
We hear.
Yes.
Walk
Oh,
away.
that's,
Walk away.
no, you sound like a
Really?
weatherman. You sound like a
That's just
weatherman
my
doing a hurricane report, man.
Hey, I'm a fat guy trying to sit down. Give me a break.
Dude, so are we, man. So no sympathy.
Well, if that's the wind that's coming, I mean, really.
No, David, he did not go to the taco stand. Leave him alone. Anyway, no, I really liked the film. I like the fact that, but I kind of find it a little bit far fetched. I had some cosmic coincidence that Hank Pym was directing this guy towards him by telling somebody in such a long, convoluted way, and finding him and everything. It just so happened
I
to
love
work out.
that. What are you talking about? That was great.
Oh, I like the way. Okay, no, okay, not to get you all pissed off about that, not to get your panties into a bunch, but I like the fact that they talked about him going. They went through it. The explanation was great, but it's like, okay, it's like shooting a dart while riding a horse 5 miles away and eating chocolate cake at the same time. It's very difficult to do that. I mean, it's very very difficult, and it's kind of far fetched to me. But I
Well,
love the film. I loved everything. I liked the special effects. I liked Paul Rudd. He was okay. He didn't.
I do
Uh,
feel that he did hold back. He did hold back during the movie, and I think it worked out for him because I think he realized that out of the totem pole of actors, he's acting opposite Michael Keaton. I mean, Michael Douglas. Sorry.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
you have to play it. You have to be a little conservative, and I think he was smart enough to be conservative, not to upstage Michael Douglas.
you know what I was surprised at? Um, yeah, Shrum, that's a bit. Uh, what I was surprised at was the ants.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I mean, they had me almost crying because Anthony died.
Yeah. The death of Anthony was bad. I was all like, Anthony, no! And then you see the little wing just flying down. It's like, no! I just lost my favorite dog. And you know what? At the end, when you see the ugly dog, that is one
Oh
ugly dog.
yeah, oh
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That was cool. I mean, I liked it.
under the table. No,
Yeah.
it had, and you know what? This was a Marvel film that I would say would have been PG. Should have been PG instead of PG-13, because I think it was PG-13. This
They
was
hit
Yeah.
the
one of the
PG-13 mark because they said some cuss words, and by the
yeah,
rules
but
that they have and all that.
this was
Yeah,
the
but
most family-friendly Marvel movie there's been out there, other than Big Hero 6.
mm,
I don't consider Mara Big Hero 6 a Marvel movie.
yeah,
yeah.
neither do I.
But I really loved it, and all in all, the movie was great. I loved it. I
You
can
just
watch it
like
again.
Evangeline Lilly.
Evangeline Lilly, you know what? I can't wait to see her as Wasp.
Yeah, everybody
Oh
wanted to see
yeah.
her as Wasp. That's what,
I
even
just
during the
I hate the
credit roll.
fact that it looked like she had a wig on the whole time. That just irritated me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't like the haircut either. Yeah, I
the
gotta agree with you.
haircut, did not do her justice. But imagine her flying around as the Wasp. It's gonna look great.
Yeah,
Hell,
that's
Gotta
imagine
gonna
swing that
flying.
outfit.
I want to see her punching people as the Wasp, dude. That's what I want to see. She
Well,
already has that at the movie. This is how
wasn't
you
it one of the
punch.
things that
Boom.
the Wasps used to do? Would be go ahead and fly into guys' ears and hit them with a sting blast?
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
not sure Disney's gonna let you brain fry guys.
Well,
In the movie.
I think it's proper. I think it's needed. It's necessary.
Yeah, convince the mouse of that, man.
well. Let me ask Sherman since he was here a couple of minutes ago. We were talking about Space City. You were at the Tampa Bay,
Yes,
and you had mixed. You told me you had a mixed reaction with that one.
I did. For me, it seemed like it was almost too big for its britches. I mean, and by that I mean, uh, it, there were so many people there. Oh my God! I mean, it took almost an hour just to get inside, and this is just standing right outside. But there was just so many people in there, and that was cool in itself. But with all the people, there was just it was almost like going to Disneyland and not being able to get on any of the rides because of the people.
Oh
Well,
yeah, we know that.
saying
yeah,
that,
And
um,
and so to me, between that and the fact that they had some um they had it seemed like they did some of the panels at the wrong time. It's like they started doing some of the makeup artist panels right when the cosplay contest is going on. It's like, come on, why would you do something like that? It's build up to it. So I mean,
It was
costume
just
contest was pretty good, but I have to say, and throwing that the price I had to pay to get in, was just it that in itself was a little was the most disappointing. I mean, you pay all this money to get in, you can hardly do anything once you get in there, and which it's crowded. Crowded, I get, and I don't fault them for that. I mean, you want people there, but at the same time, you've got so many people there. Maybe you could have come down a little bit on those tickets.
um, one of the things I'm gonna say about Space City that I was impressed is their ability to handle the crowds. They got the people in there very quickly, and also
yeah.
and also when it comes to the photo ops, I mean, you're rushed through there, but they had
Next,
that
next,
woman that was
next,
doing the
next.
Frau Fabrice from
Yeah.
Austin Powers. Next, and I
That's
mean,
how it was,
they
dude.
had things.
When we met Karen Gillian, we had a like, okay, come in. We all posed like, oh, hey, thank you for doing it. She was like, oh, no problem, guys, and smile. Next.
And then like William Shatner was there. He's like going hello, and then
you the guys were the
next,
last ones.
and he was like going okay, goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Well,
But you
they
didn't
had
even. I was gonna. Yeah.
they had Carrie Fisher there,
Did he
and
even get to meet her?
I didn't even see her.
You
Wow.
didn't see her.
Oh,
They had her. They tried to be slick about it. They had the really um high high profile people. They kind of had them behind the curtain. So unless you were willing to pay the $75 to get an autograph, you weren't going to see her unless you went to the panel. And then again, you got to contend with the crowds.
So you
So,
couldn't just stand in line and then meet her, maybe buy a picture and get her autograph. You couldn't do that?
oh yeah, you could have done that for $75,
Oi.
hmm
but I already
Yeah.
paid that to get in.
Oi,
yeah.
oi, oi.
Well, yeah, that's how much they charge. I mean, celebrities have
Yeah,
their own money
everybody's
from that.
different.
I mean, yeah, I mean, $75. Yeah, that's how much is going for like somebody her status. Peter
Yeah,
Mayhew was about $65. I
Yeah,
know
he's pretty
Anthony
cool.
Daniels is about
you know what?
$75.
I actually I had the opportunity to meet Peter Mayhew when he was at Kansas City. He didn't charge that much. His was like maybe 30, 40.
Wow,
You know,
really?
and he
But
was
he,
out there. And he
well,
was out there on the floor. I mean, he was in
yeah.
his wheelchair, but he was out there on the floor, and people could just walk up and get the autograph and say hi.
Yeah.
But that's Peter
Yeah.
Mayhew. Peter Mayhew's that kind of guy. He was that the way with us, stop, talk to us a little bit. Ooh,
He wouldn't interview with us though. But yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't.
well, he wasn't allowed to. One of the
Uh,
guys,
Probably because he had that air mask on.
No, he didn't have it
He had
on at
that
the
on that
time.
time.
not
He
when
had
he
it when
was
he was
with
at
us.
Kansas City. But yeah,
no,
so
it's just
that was my experience with it. You know,
well, I
and
mean,
I want to see a smaller one around here just to see how it goes. Maybe the anime con that they have. I missed it this year, but I'll check it out next year.
it's always a mixed bag. With the big ones, those are we've spoken to the we've had the convention guys on the show, and they tell us the same thing. It's a balancing act because certain big name guys that people want to see
Cost a
won't be
lot.
won't be here for the small ones. I imagine Carrie Fisher probably cost a lot of money to bring over. You have to pay them something on the side,
Yeah, I get
and
that.
then you got to pay for their flight, their food, all that.
Reservations, house,
Yeah, and then the
innkeeper.
money they make, and here's where the celebrities make money, is that money that they make, they don't share with anybody. No managers, nobody gets a piece of that action. It's all them.
Mm.
And so they make really good money doing these
I know
things.
because they're taking it in cash. They're taking it under the table.
Yeah, almost.
By the cube too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so with that, it works out pretty good for Carrie Fisher. But yeah, I mean, it's just a shame they had to block her off and all that. It's just, geez.
See, that's just wrong. I mean, blocking her off from any contact from anything, it's like, what the heck? I mean, that's not right. I mean, blocking off your A-listers just because you want to go ahead and charge more is not right.
Yeah, yeah. I did get to talk to one guy from he's on this season of Face Off.
Oh,
Scott Forster or something like that. He
hmm
was pretty nice, and he was while he was doing his makeup thing. He was just fielding questions from the crowd and from the audience, and he was just people were real receptive to it, and he turned out to be a real nice guy. And it's like, man, that's pretty cool. But that he for me he was the big name star for that I got to meet.
Well, it's a shame. You paid good money and it was that crowded and all that. It was tough. But again, I mean, Tampa is probably a little different. But Houston,
Yeah,
again, that was pretty big. And the ones coming up here are medium size. I guess at best medium size. But
right.
yeah.
But you know what? Maybe that's I mean, for personal value, I think the medium-sized ones are probably gonna let you fare a little bit better.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
mean, the medium-sized ones, you get a more, how do you say, a more intimate venue. You
Yeah.
get more
Yeah,
intimate with those people.
yeah, and you gotta admit, Marita Sirtis was nice, man. She was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
She was awesome. It was
Come on,
awesome
she
meeting that
kissed
lady.
Renee, and that was like
she
nice.
was
She's
nice
a very nice
to me.
person. uh,
Same thing with Billy West. I mean, Billy West talked to my daughter for like half an hour almost,
yeah, and he knew her at the panel.
Yeah. He was just great.
Pretty cool.
But we got to cover a couple bit of the movies that we saw. You guys saw Pixels.
Yes.
I thought
Let
it
me
was
say
great.
before you guys talk about it, I have literally stood in front of since I'm on vacation right now, I have stood in front of the theater at the mall with my hands in my pocket going, I'm going to see Pixels. I'm going to see Pixels. Oops, I missed the movie time. I guess I'll try again later and walk away. I just can't get myself to see it.
Yeah, I got myself to see it, and I forced myself to see it actually. And what I found is that number one, hey, the movie itself, the video game characters that came out were really good. They were really good. The way they were made, everything. The CGI was good. The characters that they brought out are good. Um, the actors, well, they were okay. Peter Dinklage is okay. The worst part about Pixels, I'm gonna just say it, Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler was the worst thing about Pixels. And it would have been a pretty awesome film, especially for a nostalgia kind of point of view. Except Adam Sandler kind of took it and went to the bathroom and had diarrhea for an hour. It was like watching. You know what? Here's the thing about Billy with Adam Sandler and his characters. He'll play a roguish kind of character, and somewhere in there is somewhere something that's kind of cool. You know, you kind of like him. This guy I did not like. I did not like him at all. I couldn't find anything
He was too
redeeming in
full of
this
himself.
character. What?
He was too full of himself, and he
Well,
wasn't a nerd.
yeah, yeah, and the word nerd, it was thrown in there, and it was like, okay, it was like taking a pile of shit and throwing it at
Hey,
someone. You nerd. Sorry.
David. I mean, Orly. Sorry, I'm used to David cussing.
I couldn't help that,
I'm
but
good.
that's how strong of a feeling I have from that. That's how
Well, there
strong
was
it is.
one character that I was offended at, and that was the guy that was in love with the female video game character. Um,
Yeah.
he didn't even need to be in there. They
No,
could have just taken that character
no, he
out.
didn't. He didn't bring anything to the movie. He didn't bring any resolution. It didn't really help. He was just one of those
And
characters that was an add-on.
I'm going to suggest don't stay for the ending scene because that was just disturbing.
Oh, God.
I didn't stay for that. No.
Oh,
They showed his kids, a whole bunch of cuberts, little
oh
cuberts.
my God.
Oh God.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know how that happened.
oh.
You don't
yeah.
want to know
Yeah,
how
that was
I don't want to
that
know.
was kind of that was dumb. But I
But
agree that one dude was not. He didn't
It
bring
wasn't
anything
necessary.
they
beneficial.
had a good they had a good idea, and the thing is that I got the feeling that no one that was in charge of making this film really understood the nerdish counterculture. I was reminded of films that this one wanted to be from the 80s. Ghostbusters, for one, you had characters that you cared for.
Yeah.
Um, you also had Revenge of the Nerds a little bit. But the one that I kept on reminding myself that was so much better and treated in a much better light was one of my favorites, Weird Science.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, again, I did not see it, but I did see like parallels to it, where they're mocking like that we mentioned the King of Kong. The Peter Dinklage was just a mocking of that
Of the guy
character.
of that guy from Florida.
Yeah, I mean, I saw, like I mentioned before, I saw that guy recently in an interview. He's still kicking, he still has the mullet, and he still thinks he's like the greatest human being on this earth.
Since
And,
Swiss cheese.
oh, he thinks
If you
he's.
don't know
But you
what
know
we're
what?
meeting,
I
go
I
see
I'll
King of
say this.
Con.
I enjoyed Peter Dinklage in that movie. I mean, I think he's a freaking awesome character or awesome actor, and I mean, he just he his braggadociousness and just to see him trying to be all braggadocious and stuff, it's like you gotta laugh at it, man, just because it's such an oxymoron.
Yeah, but it could have been
Uh,
better. I mean,
Yeah.
y-
it
well,
when he started doing that Serena Williams, Martha Stewart demand, I'm like going, really.
Uh,
Kelly really loved this movie. I mean, she was raving about it when she saw it. So more credit to Kelly, and I hope we see her soon. But I just couldn't get myself to watch this movie, man. I mean, I saw the Futurama episode, so I wasn't really
Yeah.
expecting it to
yeah.
be good. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I remember that from Futurama. In fact, you know what I would rather see than this movie? I would rather see that Amazing Spider-Man and his friends, where he takes on video game villains. That seemed more interesting
Oh,
in this movie.
Video Game Man or Video Man.
Yeah. You
Well,
Yeah,
know,
like
that was
make
normal.
a
actually
movie about him. I would want to see that.
yeah,
Well, like
I
what
would,
we
you know
normally
what though?
do.
There
Go
were
ahead.
some funny parts to this movie.
yeah. There's actually you're completely right. There were funny parts. I mean, when they brought out the dog from let me see, Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt. Oh, that was
I was like,
funny.
shoot him! Shoot him now! Shoot that dog! I hate that dog.
Because
You
everybody
know, when
has
it
always
comes,
tried to kill that dog.
Everyone's taken their light gun, whoever's played Duck Hunt, and gone, choo, choo, choo,
No,
just like the
no.
bullets.
One thing they did right. She shot the Smurf.
Yes, she shot a Smurf.
when it comes
That
to video game
awesome.
movies, though, I'm not really interested in this one as much as what I'm happy that I heard that they're gonna make a Wreck-It Ralph 2. So if video game movie wise, I'll
Uh,
wait for that. That's what I want to
Yeah.
see.
either
Oh
than that,
yeah.
you got Ready Player One coming.
Oh yeah,
Don't
Ready
forget
Player
Ready
One.
Player One is coming.
Never
Well,
read the
it's,
book, man.
you
Oh
should read the book. It's an
You
awesome
should.
book. It's really worthwhile.
It,
But the issue
yeah.
about that people talk about, since they're going to do a movie with Ready Player One, and it's super awesome that Steven Spielberg's going to direct it.
yep.
Um, all the licensing they have to do is not going to come together.
No, no.
Because if anybody who hasn't seen Ready Player One, again, I highly recommend you read that
Read it.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it uses so many 80s references. It's insane how many references there are in that book that
Yeah,
there is no way they can get them all into the movie. I
yeah.
mean,
If you
Ghostbusters,
guys,
Back to the Future, board
oh,
Number
games.
one.
okay.
Number
If
one.
if you guys have Xbox One, you get to go ahead and see this for free. The documentary on the unearthing of the ET in in Alamogordo.
It's
Yeah,
on
you
And
there.
Netflix too.
yes, but the thing is that the guy that wrote Ready Player One showed up in that movie. He's in there in DeLorean
Yeah, he has a
that
DeLorean.
he had to go ahead and get back from J.R.R. Martin, G.R.R. Martin, uh, in order to go ahead and drive from Santa Fe down to go ahead and see the unearthing and to get his own copy
E.T.
of ET. And the thing is that when you see that, he's a real nerd, and he wrote a book totally in the real nerd, um, not fake, but real nerd, view. And really, I'm wanting to see Ready Player One.
Yeah, just talking about what Renee was talking about, the problem with getting all those references and being able to get the ability to do them. I mean, number one, they have to get the rights for Star Wars.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Number two, they got to get the rights for Back to the Future because they're using the DeLorean. Right
Maybe.
there, right there. Those are two hard ones to get. I mean, they even have Firefly references in there. I mean, you got a whole bunch.
Zork.
It's gonna be really tough.
Well,
Not to mention all
there's
the
money
Zork.
behind it, they can get it. They can get Star Wars. Because one thing I know is I tried to talk to the Star Wars people about making some little objects and stuff, and to let it be officially sanctioned, and they was like, yeah, no, we're not gonna bother dealing with you. You got to be able to really give us something. I'm like,
Ah,
fan stuff, man.
Well, that's the thing. When we talked to
But if
Vic
they got the money,
Minogia, who does Star Trek Continues, he
yeah,
said that they're fortunate. CBS lets them do the Star Trek show and even encourages them as long as they don't make money.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's fine. That saves us too. We can do anything we want as long as we don't make money. Once we start making money, we're in trouble. Vic Minoja said, once they make money, they're in trouble.
yeah,
But Disney is very, very different in that policy. Disney, even though there's no money involved, they will sue.
Yeah.
And they have a history of suing hospitals, schools,
Yeah.
and all this vicious stuff. And now
That was
that they
during
own Star
Michael
Wars,
Wright.
Yeah,
I mean,
I saw that Simpsons episode.
what's been really lucky for like the 501st is the fact that before Disney took Star Wars had seen the 501st and they said, "Oh, you're cool, you're cool. As long as you advertise for us or go to events, you can do it for free."
yeah. Now Disney wouldn't have, Disney's not going to change their stance on that because George Lucas was nice enough to have it in the clauses saying that current contracts still stand
Hmm.
until they expire. But yeah, if it was a little different, I think Disney would have a little different policy on that. So I don't know. I
We'll
mean,
see.
it's going to be interesting, but I tell people to read because I know when the movie comes out, you're going to miss out on a lot. And
Yeah, there's
we got a couple
there's
of
no
movies really quick for me.
Hmm.
I saw Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, and I actually gave this movie a really good review. For
Wow.
one, I was actually really impressed. Tom Cruise running.
Oh yeah.
You could do shots of how many times he runs in the movie. But no. The thing that really worked for this movie is that one, they played it off as a really high intense action movie. I mean, even the intro. I mean, the beginning of the movie, it's exactly what the credits. It's even in the posters. It's him hanging off from a plane,
Right.
and he
which
really
was
did
the
it.
big dramatic scene and all that. But there was a little bit more to it. And what I really liked, again, that was the beginning scene of the movie. So again, it catches you. They played it off like the TV show with the credits in the beginning with the music and the fire thing going,
Bum,
and you see
bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
you see Tom Cruise and you see Simon Pegg and Jeremy Renner and and like they have like this sequencing like the TV show of everybody doing something and Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, and big plot sequence. And I gotta say, they really nailed a complicated but exciting plot, which is something that's difficult to do.
Mm.
And the movie, what I loved about it is that one, it had great action sequences. It had three major action sequences and a bunch of smaller ones. So they always kept the flow going. There's nowhere where in this where it dragged. And
Wow.
then the other part too that really shocked me, and I'm not giving a spoiler out here, was that the climax scene was not one of the big action scenes.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, but that's the thing I'm telling people right now. And this is where they get high credit for, the director gets high credit for. It was not a high intense action scene, but it was a really satisfying ending.
It was intense, even though it didn't
Yeah.
have any action. It was intense.
Well, it was the lower action. I don't want to say no action. It was like the lower act. The big stunt scenes. Again, the plane was the big stunt scene. The underwater sequence was one of the big stunt scenes. Um, they had the chase scenes. The car chase scenes was also one of the big ones. And then again, they had a lot of minor ones with Tom Cruise running and shirtless and running and running.
I can do without shirtless.
he's
Well, it's
starting
not
to
for
show
you,
his
Ernie.
age. He's
Huh?
starting to
Yeah,
show
Yeah, but
his
he's
age.
still
So,
buff.
he's not as buff
No,
as he
more,
used to
David.
be.
Tell us more, David.
Yeah, but I gotta say it was impressive, and the only drawback is, okay, the camera doesn't leave Tom Cruise at all.
Oh, really?
you know?
It loves him.
Yeah,
I
you
would
could,
disagree
I was
there.
like
There's
halfway
a-
through, I was wondering, is the director in love with Tom Cruise? 'Cause-
Yeah, they don't have Paula Poundstone in this one, do they?
I disagree with you, man, because there was a long segment where Tom Cruise isn't in there at all,
but
and a
they're
lot of
talking
it is,
about Tom Cruise.
uh,
You gotta admit
everybody's
that.
looking for Ethan Hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the whole bit, the plug-in for Halo 5 in there.
yeah.
Halo 5?
Yeah.
You know,
Little
yeah.
joke they threw in there.
I gotta go watch this film now.
yeah, that's what That's what Benji plays. Apparently, when he's at work, he's going ahead and playing Halo 5 until somebody comes around and it's like, boom, okay,
That's just like someone
back at
playing
work.
Galaga.
Yeah, but then also, I felt like everybody else was in the movie part time. That's how much I felt it was. Simon Pegg was great, but again, I felt he was in it part time. Jeremy Renner, I think he just shot his sequences like in 4 days.
Whoa.
So it's kind of
Everybody
like
That I
else,
would agree with.
so
It's
it's
just
kind
like
of like
Question
There
of
the
the
was a lot
Crowd.
more
professor on
Benji than there usually is.
it was like the professor who created Pac-Man in Pixels.
Yeah, he's in there only one day.
my little boy. Somebody stop him.
yeah, but again, I
Somebody,
mean,
somebody.
it really was a Tom Cruise movie. I mean, that's what it was. It was a Tom Cruise movie. And I have to say, as much as we make fun of him, and we have made fun of him, you
Oh
can
yeah.
look on our past history of YouTube shows. We have raised Tom Cruise through the coals. He can hold a movie. He can do a movie when he tries, and he doesn't seem that crazy anymore. So hopefully the therapy worked. But
Which
you
one?
know,
No,
Electroshock?
he went through that clearing process with the Church of Scientology again.
hopefully. But yeah, he's not as nuts as he used to be. So I'm hoping that again that more Mission Impossible movies. Hopefully they can squeeze a few more out of him before he goes nuts and kills himself or thinks he can fly or something.
I wonder if he would actually pass the torch.
Okay, hate mail goes to Renee now.
Too soon.
But
Too
you know
soon.
what?
Yeah,
It
you
was
know,
good,
interesting
Renee.
balance.
It was good.
We have an interesting balance,
Renee,
though, man.
But
Do we have Tom Cruise fans that watch our show? I gotta find the statistics on that. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
I gotta see the math on that.
well,
Okay, I can put together a survey. I can put it together real quick. I mean, we can say, which would you rather see in a movie? Tom Cruise or a bowl of Jello?
Or who?
no, here's
A
a real
bowl of Jello.
challenge. Who
Oh,
would you rather see now in the movie theater? Tom Cruise or Adam Sandler?
or Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that's not fair.
Oh, that's not fair. I have to think about that.
Tom Cruise.
I can imagine
I'm gonna
Adam
say
Sandler
If it's an
Tom
Adam
going right
Sandler,
now
if it's
saying,
Adam Sandler.
eh.
Oh, I saw a preview for a movie that I thought they would never make, and I was hoping they would never make. Apparently, they're doing Zoolander 2.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Talk
yeah.
about why.
What? You gotta
Yeah.
be kidding me.
Yeah, and it was the
Yeah,
dumbest
I'm
thing.
not kidding you.
I just don't understand what's his name,
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller
Ben Stiller.
has. He's got so many movies where it was like back to back. He was having orgy scenes, and I didn't understand his obsession with it. I was just like, dude,
Now,
it's not even real.
and it's
That
a shame
really made
because
Night at the
he,
Museum real awkward, didn't it?
Don't wanna
he can make a good movie, but when he lets too much. Um, but going back to the film, it was good, but it got me in the mood for Spectre.
know.
And they had the new no, Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah.
It got me in the mood for, and they did show the new preview, the new trailer for James Bond, and man, it's gonna be good.
I'd rather go watch The Man from Uncle than sit back and
Yeah.
watch Zoolander.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man from Uncle.
Oh, no.
I wonder how that ends.
Oh no, I'm waiting for Man from Uncle. That's coming out, I think, next week.
Yeah, Man from
After
Uncle
the-
looks somewhat interesting.
The trash that comes out this week comes out.
Well, now that we got this,
Trash.
and
We do
gotta
have
move on.
Fantastic Four coming.
well, first of all, before we do that, because we're running a little short on time, we had a big, huge trailer out. We had the Deadpool trailer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, parents. Okay, parents are ready to take their kids to go see Deadpool.
Yeah, they should. Twice.
right.
You know,
Did
I've
you see
never
the-
seen
Did you
This
see
is
the
not
commercial
for
or the
children.
trailer?
Not for children.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh,
see the commercial for the trailer?
I did not see that. I wanted to see
There
it.
that was,
is a
that came
commercial
out on
for
Monday.
the trailer. You got to
Yeah,
go
that
see
was
that.
cool. My favorite thing on the trailer was they showed two of my favorite characters, Blind Alfred and Weasel. I thought that was cool.
I'm
Wow,
just
really a moment he's
amazed.
telling everyone.
No, I'm just amazed
I
how
love
well put together the movie
the
looked.
Yeah.
brown pants mention.
David,
Was
I'm
it
losing
David
you.
there?
David,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
cutting
Yeah.
losing
in and out
David.
bad.
Yeah, dude, you were like,
And he was trying to blame my fan.
either you're going in and out or you're
No,
having a
no.
stroke, man. I can't tell.
Not
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
going
what
in
I
and
was
out
gonna
because I
say.
had to piggyback because the other internet went out and I had to piggyback from another internet. Um,
Ooh.
yeah. What I was saying is I love the brown pants joke.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that
He's
was
wearing
from
the
Because
the
brown pants.
you got the brown pants.
that was from the San Diego Comic Con
Yeah.
little tidbit, which I guess paid off for them because that movie looks solid. It looks good. The
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm.
Well, you
What can we
you have
say?
to give it credit. Yeah, you have to give it credit. It's looks like a solid origin movie as opposed to Wolverine's origin where his origin was
And that was
garbage.
funny because he even cracked jokes about that in in the trailer, and he's like, yeah, and don't
Yeah.
and please don't give me a holographic green suit or something.
Don't give me a
Uh,
green. Don't make the
no,
suit
no.
green.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
no
Yeah,
green
no.
spandex.
No, he's also talking. Yeah, and he was also talking about and don't sew my mouth shut or something.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
I tell you, Ryan
You know,
Reynolds
my
was
favorite.
made for this role, and
Yeah.
we all recognize that back when he was in Wolverine. He almost stole the show from Wolverine, just in his 10 minutes on screen.
Well, I always thought he was better at this than Green Lantern. I was like, you know what? He's awful in this role. He'd do better in Deadpool, which I'm glad is kind of panning out. One of my favorite, my favorite scene was that scene where they're like, nobody survives this process with their sense of humor. Oh well, we'll see about
He was like, "Don't leave me alone with less angry Rosie O'Donnell."
that.
Oh, I can't wait for that
Oh,
film.
what about the end
But
of it
we
when
needed
when
this
he's
tra-
talking
we
about
needed
that
this
dude's
trailer.
face?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you look like a avocado did this with an older avocado. And he's like, thanks.
Well,
But
we
needless to say, it's gonna
needed
turn
this
out to be a
trailer.
good movie.
We needed this trailer to go ahead and lighten ourselves because we know what's coming tomorrow, or actually right now. Both
yeah,
our shows are tonight or right now.
yeah. I was debating whether or not to go tonight because I don't want to go tomorrow. But I
What
know,
are the
out of
reviews like so far?
obligation, I gotta say this, ladies and gentlemen. Out of obligation for being a nerd on the couch, I'm going to go see it. But
We have
people
to.
have. This has incredible. We knew from day one this was going to be bad
Um,
because the review, my favorite reviewer that I rely on for quite a bit of stuff, who's been pretty accurate, said that these guys seem that they went out of their way to not be Marvel.
which,
But when you go out of your way not to be Marvel, and Marvel is doing movies right, logically that means that you're doing things wrong. And this movie looks wrong all over the place. The
yeah,
credits, the trailers don't win me over at all.
you know what I want to see when we talk about Fantastic Four. What I want to see in the future, I want to see somebody come out with the same video for Britney, except some dude saying, "Leave Fantastic Four alone." You don't understand it's Fantastic Four. I want to
there's
see
no
somebody
way.
passionately try to defend it.
God.
There's no way you can do it. I
The
mean,
only thing,
Even the reviews that are for it are going ahead and saying, well, it's not that great of a film, but you have to understand it deserves a chance.
Yeah,
So
so does
leave
Ebola.
Fantastic
Yeah,
Four
yeah, yeah. So does Ebola.
alone.
Why don't we go ahead and just say Ebola is necessary for life on
No,
Earth?
no,
No,
they're curing
well,
Ebola now.
you know
They
what,
got a cure for Ebola.
you
We
know
need
what,
a cure for Fantastic Four.
Oh, I can
you
tell
know
you
what
the
a
cure.
really,
I can tell you the cure right now. Disney's going to take it now. You
Yeah.
know?
And I tell you, you know what? I
you
actually like the
know,
premise of them adopting, of them mixing up the family, and switching it up a little bit. And I
Uh,
thought that was cool, just to show an adoption side. Y'all can hate on it all you want, but that's what it's gonna be.
well,
hey,
Gino,
I
before you
would agree
explode.
with you. I would agree with you, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why they did that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I could see
I
it
got
if
you.
there was there was a reason for it, but there really isn't, as far as I know. Anyways, my point of this movie, what I disliked about this movie was the director, because earlier on when he talked about making the Fantastic Four, he talked about how it's not going to be anything you've ever seen before. It's going to be completely different. It's a fresh take on it, and I think he got smart enough to start seeing people weren't liking it, and he did another kind of interview, and he's oh yes, we took a lot from the comics, and we're putting it in the movie. It's like, oh wait, you're completely contradicting what you said at the beginning. You know what I
Well,
mean? So
we had
don't
our
backpedal. That just makes you look bad.
Yep.
we had our confirmation when the studio execs saw what they had, and then said, "Okay, over a third of the film needs to be reshot." You already could tell by that they already knew that they were not having the best of product.
Yep.
I still need to go see it, so because as much as we're gonna rip it a new one, if we do that without seeing it, we're not gonna have any kind of cred. So
Now, of
we will
course.
see.
Now, of course, I want to emphasize here to our listeners that none of us have seen the movie. We're just speculating on what some of our reliable sources have told us, and basically
Nine
word of
percent
mouth.
on Tomato Reader.
Okay.
And word of mouth from people that I speak to who are pretty much agree. If they say the movie's going to stink and I go see it, I pretty much agree with them. I really haven't had a differentiation much from some of these sources. And
Okay.
so,
Yeah, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, man. And it's kind of hard to ignore those sources, and it's kind of hard to be able to watch that. But I can say one good thing has come from out of this. I'm gonna say it. The fireball skillet from Denny's is excellent.
I
That is excellent. It's nice, spicy, and it tastes pretty good.
do enjoy the Thing Burger.
Oh yeah, I have to say that.
It doesn't even sound right.
So Disney gets it. I mean,
Well,
Denny's
where do
gets
you?
it right,
Yeah,
while
Denny's gets it right. Yeah, but you know what? That kind of the I don't like the name Thing Burger because the thing doesn't have pants.
Hey, that just it's not right. It's not right.
it
Yeah.
has 2 eggs on it.
Take your kids,
With a lot of
people.
beans.
Yes.
Okay, I realize finally what bothers me from that. Not from the jokes that, okay, the Thing's not wearing pants, he's naked, and all that. It's just the fact that I come to realize just at this moment that the movie has literally castrated the Thing.
Yes.
They castrated him.
That's messed up.
And he has a girlfriend. The comic books. You're like wondering what happened.
Yeah, no, I don't really. I don't really contemplate that at all. I leave that alone. I'm not touching that at all.
That's just sad.
Now, I realize now, I know
And then
that
I'm
in the
saying this
previous
going.
movie and in the comic books, the Thing is a male, a fully functioning male, who, he has to have some modified utilities, but he is a man, and he has functioning parts. But here, no, and I'm kind of like, you should be dead. You're not excreting anything, so all your toxins and all that should be developing inside your body. You should blow up like a volcano with
Well,
the rock.
what do you think happens when the dust falls off of him?
Oh,
You're talking
we're
about.
not going there.
Oh my God, he's like a tree. Yes, pollen. Oh no.
Every time you
No,
see him,
You know what I
we're
that's
not
want to
it.
going there.
see? You know,
We're not
thinking about Fantastic Four.
going there.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a crossover. I want to see Fantastic Four and the Ninja Turtles in one movie.
Okay. Here's one question I got for you guys. If that's what the thing is doing now, does he find Mount Everest a little bit amorous?
Oh God. No, here's now again. You mentioned it. Supposedly they talked about a crossover with the X-Men, and I think at this point the X-Men are like, no, we're not touching that poison.
They're probably like, really? You want that?
We
Well,
don't want
Johnny
Disney.
Storm
Okay,
could do it.
Disney
Johnny Storm will be
now
the only good one to come out
realizes.
of that.
Okay, here's the Disney now realizes the Fantastic Four rights are going to go to them. They know. They're smiling. They're happy. They're the only ones who are thrilled with this movie because it's telling them soon they're going to end up in the fold, which to me it's going to be awesome because I want to see Hank Pym, Reed Richards, Tony Stark, all the geniuses, Bruce Banner talking like in a movie scene in the movie, having some kind of technological brainstorm going on,
speaking of
talking off each other.
speaking
But
of Reed
They're
Richards
now,
and
they're
everything,
gonna be going ahead and measuring their slide rules against each other.
yeah. But here's the thing. You know what I find interesting about Rick and Morty is how close that Rick is to being Mr. Fantastic. He has the order of Ricks.
You
Come
know,
on.
getting back to what Renee said. One of my favorite things about Ant-Man, and I'm stepping away from Fantastic Four for a minute, but one of my favorite things about Ant-Man was the fact that Hank Pym can't stand the Starks. Can't stand
Yeah.
Stark. He can't.
Oh yeah, I love
He
that.
didn't. Him and the dad went head to head, and he said, I kept the technology away from Stark. I'm not gonna show it with his son. So there's that tension. Him and Stark, aren't
Ooh,
exactly buddies.
also best cameo in there is
we've
Falcon.
come. We're coming up to the end of our hour,
I know.
and next week, join us next week as we're going to bash Fantastic Four badly. And
I don't know. I don't know what's worse: the fact that we're gonna bash it, or the fact that we're gonna watch it.
Well, we have to do it together. We're gonna have to because I mean, if we don't go see it together, the thing is that we may not survive. The
sheesh,
the one good thing is that it's only an hour and a half.
sheesh. That's
Uh,
not even good. But
I,
we gotta be heading out. But again, join us. We're gonna give a review of Fantastic Four. We're gonna be at the Border City Comic Con next week. We're gonna have a blast, and be sure to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com Nerds on a Couch, our YouTube channel. And so we'll see you guys later.
Adios.
peace.